I need a haircut. Well, on my way to Norfolk, Virginia today. So, we'll see how it goes. So, I'm on my way to Norfolk, Virginia today, which ought to be fun. The reason I say it ought to be fun is because it doesn't have to be there until 6:30 at night, and I could have got it there at 6:30 last night, but they set the appointment, and because of the nature of where I'm delivering, I can't deliver early. So, been basically, I released my video yesterday and did my premiere and then made a music track and then watched a few things and fell asleep. Went and ate all the unhealthy shit that's available. I don't even remember the name. It's basically, there's the Flying J on 95 between Washington and Richmond. There's 2 Flying J's and a Love's. I don't remember the name of the town, but it's kind of like one of the few truck stop areas on I-95 where you actually can find parking, So there's that. There's a Waffle House. There's a Wendy's. There's Subway, of course. Dairy Queen, which is, I like my ice cream. It's how I maintain my fucking figure, Nothing like going all in on being an unhealthy prick, right? Anyways, let's get on the road. So, actually, it might be too soon to get on the road. What time is it? 11. 1, 2. I mean, I can get there 4 hours early. So, it's actually too soon for me to even get on the road. So, it looks like I'm just going to watch some videos. So this is where I keep my laptop during the day. I don't like to tear it down, put it away in the backpack, and I find that when you put shit on the bunk and you cover it up with the, blanket and whatnot, it tends to stay in one place, even though with some hard braking and, going around corners and that kind of shit. As you can see, I still got my audio interface and headphones hooked to it, and then all I got to do is move it over to the table when I decide I want to, set it up and do my shit. I will say, side note though, if I hit a bridge abutment or a tree or something, it's gonna fly off of here and probably be broken. But in that case, I'll probably be dead anyway, so it won't matter. Remember those videos I used to make where I told you not to eat grain? Well, then inflation happened, and this big ass box was like $6 for 2 bags of unhealthy grain mixed with some milk. It keeps me from dying short term. Not that that's a risk with all the fat I have on me. You see, in a world where I spend $15 to $20 on fast food meals, if I can do this and skip a fast food meal, which is the lesser of two evils, you know? So, yeah. You might be like, well, just bring food with you. I know Gyro Spin-Up famously loves bitching at me about that. I don't feel like cooking 90% of the time I'm out here. It's just the way it is. Did my milk freeze? Oh, no. So, yeah. I might have to buy all new fucking groceries because my refrigerator is freezing the milk. Great. And it froze my heavy cream, too. I gotta change the settings in here. I think I turned it down a little. I'll have to watch the footage because I couldn't put my head down in there. But now I'm going to eat my bowl of cereal with frozen fucking milk. So Pop-Tarts are okay, right? So that's kind of the reality of it. I've fallen so far off of the keto, bandwagon that it's probably depressed and scared off most of my health-minded subscribers who didn't give a shit about me until once I stopped being healthy, they didn't give a shit and they left the channel. So there's that. For those of you who stuck it out with me, even though I'm making all these poor life choices, I know they're poor life choices too. But given the state of the world, I don't mind being a little fat right now because guess what? If everything falls apart and there's a big collapse, I'm going to live a lot longer because I have probably a good month of body fat to burn through before I starve to death. That's just one of the benefits of eating this way. I'm not anticipating, I feel like because I was keto for so long, I did repair something in my system. I'm not experiencing any of the symptoms as far as, getting lightheaded and getting the shakes that I used to get long ago when I was at 255 is my weight. Not that I'm too far off from that at 225, but still, there's a big fat difference between that weight and this weight. And like I said, I've plateaued going up, which I was amazed. I thought once I started eating this way again, that I would just start ballooning with no cap. Like my metabolism would not ramp up or anything. Maybe that's what it did. I don't know. I have to do my fucking homework again. Which I don't feel like doing anymore because fucking world is shit. The world is shit. All right. I don't have long-term goals anymore. It's more like, what can I do to get through right now and enjoy right now? And one of those things, my pay has gone up with inflation to a point. However, shit just keeps going up price-wise, If we look in my fridge, that right there, plus the cereal and the chips and all the unhealthy shit, that right there is a $100 grocery bill. And that's cheap, low-quality food, a lot of it. There's no ribeyes in there. There's not even eggs, which are overpriced as fuck and require a lot of cooking. If I want to get eggs, I go and have an overpriced breakfast sandwich at the fucking, truck stop. So it's the prices just keep going up, and I don't want to work just to pay for food. You know, I would much prefer to have some discretionary spending in my travels, and I still have that, but I'm really feeling the bite. You know, it's getting towards now where I can blow through $200 a week on food out here, you know, because I have to eat out most of the time. You know, and I could save probably maybe $20 or $30 by cooking it myself, because it ain't that, you know, it's not that much cheaper anymore to cook it yourself. You know, the groceries have all gone up, you know. There are cheap options still, like ground beef I think is still reasonable, though that's gone up. But I don't know, it's just, I don't want to eat ground beef every day. You know, I'm not like I was back in the day where I want to stick with the carnivore diet or keto so much, because I did it for so long that, you know, I was eating the same things over and over again. And, you know, now I have this variety, and a lot of it is addictive, shitty, chemically laced, fucked up foods that are going to rob me of my long-term health. This is an informed decision I make. I haven't forgotten. You know, I still believe the ketogenic diet and the carnivore diet are the best diet for long-term health, for sustained weight loss, you know, and for taking care of yourself. I just chose not to because the last 3 years have been a shit show. It's like, why put all this effort into being super healthy when at any moment they could, you know, mutate some bird flu and make me fucking sick again, or possibly kill me, you know? So why am I going to take precautions for some long-term shit when long-term isn't looking very good, you know? Even if we stay with the way things are or headed right now, and we manage to not have World War III, I predict that in 20 years, you know, which is my late 60s I'll be in, that this shit is going to suck. It's going to be a miserable existence, and I'll still have to part-time work, if not full-time by the time, because there's going to come a point where I can't part-time anymore because of the cost of everything. You know, unless we change something that we're doing. And I've seen no indication from the Fed, no indication from the stock market, no indication from the government that we're going to right the ship. It's like they want it to fail. They want us to fail so they can shift to a globalist society, a globalist system of which we are but the third world country in, not the leader of. That's my theory, you know. I could be wrong, but good old Klaus at the World Economic Forum, I think he's got a plan, and that's part of this plan that he has. You know, and believe it or not, we've been kind of heading that way, you know, with BlackRock and Vanguard both pushing the ESG bullshit. You know, it's they're going to sink the economy because, you know what's not ESG? Fuel. All right? And fuel is the backbone of the economy. It's how your shit gets to the grocery store. It's how I make a living. You know, and in order to tank that industry in favor of electric vehicles, which in your children's lifetime will not take over. I guarantee you, we will not get there because we do not have the infrastructure, you know, they don't have, you know, you're not going to generate all of this with solar panels and fucking wind farms. It's not how it's going to work. You know, even if you put solar panels on the vehicles themselves, you're going to outpace your limited availability of sunlight, especially in the northern areas of the country where it's, you know, there's so little sunlight that your fucking vitamin D levels drop to alarming levels over the winter. You know, it's just not going to be a place. I mean, maybe out in the desert, you'll be fine. You know, you could keep that Tesla running with some solar panels, but you're going to be parking it more than you're driving it. You know, and they're moving to limit your travel, so you only travel in your city that you're in. You know, that's their goal. They don't want you to have mobility. They don't want you driving across the country anymore. So that's one of the reasons I want to enjoy that while I still got a chance. So, these are the thought processes behind my complete failure at keto, and that, and some of the people I lost over the last 3 years. I'm just, it took a lot of wind out of my sails. I'm hoping to recapture some of it, but let's face it, I haven't been very successful at recapturing the wind in my sails, so to speak. Anyway, I just thought I'd muse about that a little bit before I sit down, watch a few videos, and then maybe go to work, because I don't want to get there too early. I'll get there a couple hours early, and maybe they'll feel bad for me and unload me, or they'll just make me sit there. Either way, I can get there a little early. So I just can't get there yesterday early. I don't want to sit at it's basically a store I'm delivering to, so I don't want to sit there for 24 hours and shit. It's going to be a trucking adventure, though, because it's in Norfolk, and Norfolk isn't the most truck-friendly area. If you make one wrong turn, you're fucked. And it's a store, so I'm got to go into these areas where trucks aren't meant to go. So, yeah, that ought to be real fun. Arby's again. So fucking happy that I get to eat Arby's. They got the motherfucking meat. Shit. Good thing I scaled. This might put me overweight. And I don't mean overweight as in I'm fat. Of course I know I'm fat. So normally I would eat on the fuel island like all the other truck drivers do, but today I decided to not be an asshole or a complete prick or a waste of life and park in one of the many parking spots that is fully available. There's literally a large group of truck drivers dicking around the fuel island, not getting fuel, mind you. I actually fueled, and because they're too lazy to walk across the parking lot. Now, had I not been getting fuel, I would have just parked and got my sandwich. So, $9 from Arby's. It's a steakhouse sandwich, supposedly. $9. So that's what you get for $9 fucking there. Single hamburger sized sandwich. Looks way fucking bigger in the picture too. Tastes nothing like prime rib. Or ribeye or whatever the fuck they call it. It's pretty much processed meat. This is also one of my solutions out here to minimize spending money, is only buying a sandwich. And then filling in the calories with low quality foods such as potato chips or chips and salsa or Pop-Tarts or whatever the fuck else I munch on when I'm not eating $9 itty bitty sandwiches. I don't even know if I can convey to you that this is not $9 small. You know, this will not fill a human being, you know, unless that human being weighs 110 pounds. I figured I'd get the sandwich while I fuel, because I have no idea how long I'm going to be stuck at this customer for. And all I had to eat was a bowl of cereal, which also doesn't fill you for the day. Trucks deliver to the various stores. So hopefully I don't just, you know, take a wrong turn. Because they don't tell you what the truck entrance is for these stores. You just get the usual, this is where it is, good luck. directions, and the directions were usually off of MapQuest and written by some dickhead in the office who's never seen or been to the customer. At least Google has pictures and shit. One thing Google got right was Google Maps. I'm sure they'll fuck that up along with everything else they do. If you ever want to do some non-truck stop shit, this is the exact formula you have to use to go to such places. You have to act like you're delivering. Like there's a Walmart off to my left here. It doesn't look like it's got a lot of room for trucks, but if I were to take a left at this light, I could park behind the Walmart. Or even risk going to the parking lot off to the left-hand side here. There's a bobtail over there right now, but there's enough room you could get in there. The problem is you could get stuck there if more people show up. They got a Hooters, though. Crunching noises, so I'd say we're all good. I'm gonna take a shot because it does look friendly enough. Even put me in the backside of one of these buildings, which would be nice. I'm getting closer. I feel it. Alright, I have found the customer. Question is, how the fuck do I get in there? It's got construction and shit. Try going around the block. This might be a straight up truck adventure here. It is packed with cars. They don't have a dock. Today's gonna suck a lot. I don't see a dock. I see some trailers though. Not as bad as I thought. Okay. Well, now they got me going to pick up here in near Norfolk and going up to New Hampshire next with no delivery appointment, so I can, for all intents and purposes, take my sweet ass time. But because I got such a late start today, it means night driving, and with one of my headlights out due to electrical problems, as in it would require multiple days in the shop to get fixed, it's going to present a bit of an issue. I try not to do as much night driving, so I probably will cut today short, make less money, in the interest of being able to drive mostly during the day, which makes the headlight a non-issue. I did manage to, because I'm delivering to a store, I managed to replace my heavy cream that is frozen. Hopefully that won't freeze too. Shit, other than that, like big chunks of heavy cream fall in my coffee every morning. But I did lower the temperature in the fridge, so hopefully it holds together. I was going to get milk, but they only had giant-sized milk. And honestly, you can get milk at the truck stop, so I'm not super concerned. And it was good enough in my bowl of cereal. But as for what else did I have to eat so far today, I just ate some chocolate chip cookies. I'm a simple fucking creature, alright? That was my snack. And somewhere along the way, after I pick this next load up, I'll probably make some coffee. I don't know. Coffee is a good solution for not eating as much. I'm like the picture of fucking health now. I used to be so scared of this tunnel. I used to avoid it at all costs. Then one day I said, fuck it, and I came through it. It's a 13.6 tunnel, which means there's about an inch of clearance over my trailer. Not to mention it's rather tight. See the scrapes of all the trucks that have scraped it. So, yeah. It's still quite intimidating though, because you're literally within an inch of the top of the tunnel with the truck. It's a little bit better in this part here, but that first part is definitely an inch clearance. Although I'm assuming these little signs are pretty low too. Probably the scariest tunnel out of all of the Norfolk, Suffolk region. Like the Chesapeake Bay Bridge tunnel is pretty fun and spectacular. Like I enjoy that place. I don't enjoy this so much. But they let us through here. There's no truck signs. after sunset, no less, which is A-okay in my book. It's quite the drive, especially in a truck. It's another one of those things I was scared to do when I was a newbie. Wow, they want $15 to park there. That's bullshit. I don't believe in paying for truck parking, because fuck you. So much for shutting down early. I'm in the northern part of Delaware, Smyrna, Delaware, because there's no fucking rest areas or even like real truck stops. You know, I did see one truck stop and it had room for maybe 9 trucks, and of course it was full. You know, so either you find like a place by a shopping center, which all of those were taken, or you go to this very secluded rest area. So yeah, that's fun. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. You know, that's all I ate that day is what I showed you. About 6 or 7 of those cookies I had. But I start off my day with my coffee, and I generally don't eat till like later in the day. So there's that. But on my way to New Hampshire now, and it's supposed to get cold again, even though I'm wearing shorts. As soon as I put the shorts on, the 60 degrees goes away. That's how my life works. So today I get to deal with New Jersey. That ought to be fun. Not really. I might be burning out again. They've been running me northeast, and that's my least favorite area to truck in, believe it or not, even though I live up there. You know, it's just always congested. It's always a shit show. There's traffic jam after traffic jam. Although I will say, coming up through Delaware and Maryland and all of that, you know, I drove right by Ocean City. Of course, it was dark out. I couldn't see anything. Not that that matters. It was probably all highway anyway. But, you know, that way was a lot less congested than had I come up I-95, which would have added 2.5 more hours plus traffic jams to this trip. So, and it was just a nicer drive, but had no place to pull over. That's the downside of it. So, though this rest area was definitely like, I had to find it on Google Maps, because it was literally, there's like one rest area in Delaware, which makes sense. It's the smallest, you know, it's a small ass state. It's not the smallest. Rhode Island, I believe, is the smallest. So, and Rhode Island isn't fun to truck in either. But please like and subscribe for more shit. If you want to support what I do, the music I make, and all of that other shit, down below is a link to Pond 5 where you can find my latest tracks. Although they haven't, you know, I still got a bunch of them that are waiting review that should be reviewed by now that haven't been reviewed. So I'm wondering what the fuck's going on there. You know, if they suck, tell me they suck and reject them so I can move on with my life, but don't like leave them in perpetual review. Anyway, link down below if you want to listen to some of my latest music. I will be releasing tracks here on YouTube. I have one lined up and ready to release. Just because this is honestly where I get paid the best for, you know, my music, even though, you know, Spotify has better streaming rates, I guess. I don't know, maybe I'll start working on publishing to Spotify more, you know, since streaming pays a little bit too, and then, you know, it's all about trying to make a little money with my creativity, you know. I'd like to make enough to make a living with my creativity, but I don't think that's ever going to fucking happen because, you know, I'm not the best musician, I don't think. You know, I'm not the greatest content creator. I'm just some asshole with a truck that likes to make shit. And I'll just keep making shit, you know, with trucking paying my bills going forward. You know, as you know, I've given up on trying to bust my ass to get nowhere after so many years as a content creator and photographer and videographer and all of that shit. You know, maybe something will inspire me to go all in again someday, but I don't see it happen. And I think this is it. This is my life, you know, as a nomad, living in a truck, living in the Prius here and there, staying home every once in a while. You know, I think that's my life now. And I gotta accept it. It's not gonna get any better. You know. that's the hard pill to swallow, is it's not gonna get any better. This is it. So it's kinda rough swallowing that pill, to be honest. Anyways, have a nice motherfucking day and shit. Also, I'm thinking of just selling my royalty-free tracks on my website. I might do that too. And when there is no approval process, you just come and buy the shit from me. You know? And I can sell, like, in bulk. As in, you know, have a big compilation that you can purchase for a single price. That way all the music makes a little bit of money, instead of one or two tracks making all the money. Alright, that's it. Have a nice motherfucking day and shit.